viewers, and welcome to Business News from Mumbai. I'm Madiha Mujawar. In the next half an hour, we'll bring to you the news from the world of business and economy. Let's see the news in detail. Let's begin with the top story now. Following the Reserve Bank of India's cutting of repo rate by 25 basis points to help support an economy set to post its slowest annual growth rate in a decade, State Bank of India, the country's top lender, has cut its key lending rate by 5 basis points yesterday. The base rate now stands at 9.7% and will be effective from February 4. The state-run lender Punjab National Bank today said it would cut its base rate by 25 basis points to 10.25% from February 9, and private sector HDFC Bank and Federal Bank announced a reduction in a few segments like auto loans to the tune of 0.25 to 0.5%. Alright, now SBI Chairman Pratip Chaudhuri joins us to talk more on the interest rate cuts. Sir, thank you very much for joining.
Thank you.
We learned that the SBI has cut interest rates after the RBI cut repo rate and CRR by 25 basis points. So can you take us through the changes you have made in your interest rates, sir?
Yes, actually RBI reduced the CRR by 25 basis points, which has meant a release of about 3,000 crores to State Bank of India.
Right.
Now, if you put a price of 8% on this 3,000 crores, so we benefit by about 240 crores. And another about 30 crores we benefit by the cut in the repo rate. So the total relief or benefit to the State Bank of India is to the order of 275 crores. We have a loan book of approximately 6 lakh crores. So we have passed on a benefit of 5 basis points, which equals to about 300 crores annually. What it does is that our base rate at 9.70 would be the lowest in the industry. And most of the other public sector banks are 10.25 and beyond. So we are well 55 basis point or 0.55% lower than all public sector banks. And secondly, our home loan rate, which is the most popular loan for our consumers, for our customers, that would fall below the double-digit number after a very long time.
Right.
It would now be 9.95. For up to 30 lakh home loan, and beyond 30 lakh home loan, it would be 10.10.
All right. Right, sir. But I would like to ask you, sir, why is the cut of just of 5 basis points? Is it that you see no room for more cuts? Because other banks, including PNB and HDFC, have cut rates with a bigger number.
I doubt. In fact, if you look at PNB's base rate, it is 10.25.
I know, yes.
And
Keeping in
what
mind
matters
SBI's
to the
base rate is very
customer
low.
is what is the actual rate being given. So our base rate is the lowest in the industry, which signifies that we are the most efficient lender. Secondly, I showed you the economics that the relief is approximately 275 crores.
Yes, 275
and what
crores.
we are passing on is approximately 300 crores.
Yes.
So just about everything that we receive in terms of relief is being passed on. So, and secondly, to the customer, what matters is the actual rate. And we are very happy that, just 2 days back, we have got the mandate for funding the Tata Steel Odisha project, because top companies and the best companies and even the home loan borrowers are coming to us, largely attracted by our best pricing on the loans.
That's true, sir, yeah. Also, sir, I would like to ask you what has been your NPA level for the current year now, and how you plan to manage your bad loans.
Yes, NPA levels, our Q3 results should be due in another about 15 days, so it is not right for me to talk about that, and these numbers are undergoing audit. But what we can say that the trend, which was quite worrying in the first quarter, improved significantly in the second, and that improvement continues in the third quarter. Because NPA worries have taught the companies that they need to address this problem more seriously and be more receptive to the moves of the bank in keeping their accounts standard. So all that work is happening, and we expect a significant improvement in the fourth quarter particularly, because fourth quarter is the time when the state governments are best positioned to clear out many of the dues of their contractors and construction companies.
Right.
Many of our companies are running NPAs because of delay in receivables from particularly the state government agencies.
Right. Yes, sir, I know you've been in favor of firms who are not able to pay loans due to various reasons. So also, in which sectors you see the bad loans increasing?
No, bad loans have increased largely in the steel and mining sector.
All right.
Because of the restrictions on mining, many steel plants are not able to operate at an optimum capacity, and then there is a general slowdown, particularly in the textile and other, what I call the capital goods sector.
Okay. The steel and mining, capital
Steel
goods,
and mining, yes,
attract
capital
more
goods.
of bad loans, increase in there.
Bad loans means they are having a difficulty in,
Repayment.
generating more demand
Okay.
for their products.
All right. Now talking about debt restructuring, sir, how many loans have you put in your CDR so far, and which is the major one?
See, it is not right for me to name them because
Oh.
there is a client confidentiality issue.
Okay.
But I can tell you that our percentage of restructured loan is rather low, and therefore we rather recognize them as NPA before we tend to restructure. So total restructured book is about 40,000 crores, which is about 3% of the total book, and out of 40,000 crores, only about 20% is NPA. The rest 80% is a standard asset.
All right. Also, sir, you've mentioned on several occasions that there is a poor demand for gold ETF, and around 2 tons of gold is lying with State Bank of India. We know that the RBI has been warning people to cut investments in gold, and the government has also increased import duty on gold to curb demand. So how you plan to deal with this issue?
No, in fact, gold ETF, gold loan scheme was started by us, mobilizing gold from the temples and other places,
Right.
and lending it out to the jewelers. But
Yeah.
whatever we mobilized, about 7 tons, only 5 tons have been lent out. So there is not enough demand. There is more gold with the people who want to put it with the bank, but there is more demand. But gold ETF, if the government wants to curb, I am little, surprised that in a gold ETF, if I put in money and hold it for 1 year, the tax applicable is 10%.
Right.
Whereas on a bank deposit interest, the tax applicable is 30%.
30%, yes.
So with this kind of favorable tax treatment being given to gold ETF, it is difficult to visualize that the investment there would reduce.
Right. Any more provisions you think should be brought in gold ETF? You had also mentioned that there is no such provision of people selling back golds to the banks.
Yes,
Gold
this we had mentioned to RBI that if you buy gold from the bank and then for some reason, you want to liquidate that gold and get cash, the banks are not allowed to buy back. So in order for any market to be efficient, there has to be what is called a two-way court, a buy and sell. Whether you look at currency, look at securities, look at other markets, share market, so there is a buy and sell. So similarly, if we think that the banks are allowed to buy back their gold, there would be less gold in circulation, and the same amount of gold can be sent out for meeting the consumption or the festival needs.
Right, sir. Lastly, sir, what are you expecting in the Q3 numbers? We know you're coming out with Q3
Q3
numbers on February
see,
14.
there is an issue of, what is called forward-looking statement.
But how do
So
you look
if
the asset quality?
Asset quality, again, that would be a forward-looking statement, so it is not right for me to say anything more on this. We are a listed company, so it is not right for me to say anything in public domain before
Right,
it
sir.
is done with the board of directors.
All right, sir. Thank you very much for joining Doordarshan News, sir. Appreciate
Thank
your
you.
time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.